Thank you for staying with us. Well, ahead of the governorship elections in Edo State, particularly how the performance of the current administration may or may not impact on the outcome of the elections. Two gentlemen join us, as you've seen right there. Lugard Ehosiehe joins us. He's chairmanship candidate of the local government under the Labour Party. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
We've also been here joined by Chris Ojekere, who is a member of the PDP. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
Generally, gentlemen, let me begin with you, Mr. Ojekere. From what people have seen and people have known, what are the chances of your party returning? Well, it is natural for you to say the chances are high, but looking at the reality, the reactions of people so far about the performance or a lack of your governor and the intrigues happening within the party, what do you think the reactions of the people are for now?
Well, I think the current realities on ground in Edo State favors the PDP under the governor, Godwin Obaseki. And the reasons are not far-fetched. People in Edo State are very reasonable people. In 2020, that reasonability was displayed. It wasn't what the propaganda opposition was saying. It was what the very reasonable Edo people saw. And they have only improved on that side by the performance of the governor. We win elections by performance, not by propaganda. Now, let me just take it sectorially. The governor promised Edo people a 6-point agenda, to put it in the layman's language. He calls it the 6 planks of his government. And they are institutional reforms, economic revolution, culture and tourism, industrial development, social, I remember the other two. Now, development. In each of these lines, the governor has performed absolutely. Now, let's take institutional reforms, for instance.
The question that I asked you,
Yes.
Mr. Ojekere, is the reactions of the people.
The reactions of the people are based on what the people are saying. The reactions of the people you asked me, I'm the people. I'm from Edo State, and I'm telling you what the people are seeing in Edo State.
Interestingly, another people, as you put it, it's right here with us.
It's right here with us.
Just allow him to speak to it.
Sorry, when you have two people talking, you ask for evidence.
Well, I guess let's see if he also agrees with you.
Right. As a matter of fact, the evidence of realities of performance of government is judged by the condition of life of the citizenry. I come from the rural community, and in that rural community, I'm thinking about the life of my people. The government may have tried in their own ways. I'm not saying they are entirely empty, but in their own ways. But it's my people that are my concerns in my local government. In my local government, I see the people in penury. I see them in total multidimensional poverty. And they live in this circumstance since ages, and nothing has actually changed in my community. That's how I judge any government, based on my community, my local government, because those people are also Nigerians.
So how do you see their perspective shaping the position or their position, or how they vote in the coming elections?
The nearest of the elections is the local government election, coming on the 2nd of September 2023. And that's where I come from. My local government is the poorest local government in Edo State, Unwonde local government, where at this age and time, there are no hospitals, there are no banks, there are places within my local government where they can no access road, and these people are in dire need of transportation means, staying out for more than a week without finding a single vehicle plying their road because it's deplorable. So this is the perspective that I'm coming from, that in this election, they will judge those that will make their life better. We also know that Labour Party, where you can see the logo in my chest, is talking about changing the narratives, changing a society from the consumption to production. Of course, in my local government, we have all endowment that is not harnessed to the benefit of the citizenry. In my local government, abundance of arable land of about 2,033 kilometers square. And this land are shifting cultivation and peasant farmers. They are supposed to be the food basket of the state, but no facility, no amenities, no social development for the people to encourage the youth to stay. There is migration. Some of our villages are going to extinct because the youth of this day cannot live within those situations that is so precarious. There are nothing of any kind of necessary things to live. So therefore, it's going to extinction. We are trying to avoid that, to bring back life, good condition, development, and harness the natural endowment of our local government.
Just a quick one, Bukola. We are expecting to be joined this morning by Justice James Oyemire, retired, who is from the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission. We're expecting that he will join us via Zoom shortly, but hopefully as soon as he does that, we will get to it. Bukola.
Yes, thank you, Ayo. Mr. Jekiri, I imagine that you would want to respond to Mr. Lugard, particularly when he talks about the poor living conditions in his own local government, but just give him some time. Mr. Lugard, you said you want to, you're sort of re-echoing the slogan of your presidential candidate in the last elections. So tell us how you intend to transform the fortunes of the people of Edo State. You know, should you get the opportunity, should your candidate get the opportunity to take power in the coming elections in 2024?
What we mean the consumption to production. I come from the sector of machine fabrication. Of course, I'm a member of the Agric Machine Equipment Fabricators Association of Nigeria. So we believe in our local technology. We cannot be importing everything. As we continue to import, we continue to consume the wealth, the ideas of other nations. We want to depend on our local technology to provide us the machineries necessary to process our product and also to transfer these skills for generations to come. And thereby we can produce locally and sell our product locally. I'm not saying people shouldn't import, but they should distribute that which we produce here for our people consumption. And thereby our finance, the capital is retained here, rather than capital flight that we are experiencing in Nigeria today that leads to a lot of devaluation of our currency. This is what we are bringing in. In my local government, like I just mentioned before, it's agricultural arable land. And thereby we have several products. But this product do not have processing industry within this locality. So we intend, by my own person as the candidate, the chairmanship candidate of Labour Party in Wonde, that when I come into power through my expertise as a machine fabricator, that will fabricate locally our machines to process those products. Like you can find plantain, pineapple, you can find cocoyam, you can find several products. We can create jobs through this, processing them using local machineries that we can easily maintain locally and thereby retain our capital here in Nigeria and provide the jobs for the youth and transfer skills, unlike the situation is now that our youths no longer stay in the rural area.
Okay, let me ask you, Bukola, you wanted to ask Mr. Jekiri about, how you respond to his position, particularly from his local government. And I'm pretty sure that a host of other local governments would probably be saying the same thing. How do you respond? Because at the end of the day, it is the states that energize activities, economic activities at the local governments. For now, how do you respond?
All right, let me respond in two ways. One, that the local government is a component of the state, and Uhunde people necessarily do not reside in Uhunde local government area. In fact, if I know the demographics of Edo State, there's a huge percentage of Uhunde people residing in Oredo local government area. So when the state government under my party is churning out policies, it doesn't churn out policy parochially. The state government is not going to think only of Uhunde, it's going to think of what will be of benefit to every local government. We have 18 of them in Edo State.
Does your government, just a second,
yes.
just a quick follow-up on that, does the government in any way, manner, shape or form factor in the Uhunde local government itself, whether or not the people are there?
18 local governments are factored in.
And just to add to that,
yes,
Uhunde is not the only local government that could have that challenge.
That could have probability, yes. So whichever local government have that challenge, what they need is information. Edo State has what we call the Edo Production Hub that could well easily fabricate for him those machines he needs for cassava processing.
Is it that the local governments do not have the capacity?
It is that the local government does not have that information. It is also that they are not aware. You haven't
answered the question.
Yes.
Is it that the local governments do not have that capacity?
To do what?
What you're talking about.
To fabricate machines?
Yes.
If the local government has the capacity to fabricate machines, that we expected that he would have that complaint. Because the local government has a local government council and local government administration.
Exactly.
The local government have individuals who are people who can invest in the agro business. The local government have people who can partner with the states to be able to fabricate these machines. In fact, what he's saying is more in the purview of the private sector. And that is one thing we try to do in government. The government cannot go and begin to make cassava machine for Uhunde local government area. That's not how the state government should think. What the state government should do is to create an enabling environment for every local government area to be able to play. And I'm saying that in Edo production hub, for instance, he can find ready partners that will fabricate machines for everything. It's in Sapler Road. It's set up by the government.
I'm not sure you understand. I'm not sure you understand the question. My apologies, Bukola. I'm not sure you understand the question.
I do understand
the question.
His query is that
18 local governments, just as you said, and he just cited an example of one, which is his own
local government.
Now, if Uhunde, local government is having this concern, as Bukola has said, a host of other local government areas in Edo State could have the same concern. So just a second, what is wrong with the state government, for instance, setting up these hubs, as you call them, in all 18 local governments so that he doesn't have to complain?
Now, I am saying to you that it is not the government's responsibility to begin to build cassava mills.
Do you agree with him?
Just a second. Let me finish.
It's a long conversation.
Yes, he said he's contesting for the local government chairman of Uhunde local government.
That's not the issue now.
We expect, excuse me, let me finish that point. We expect that the third tier of government, as it is called, to have some responsibilities.
Good.
Do you agree with that?
So that is if the state government allow them. Go ahead.
Mr. Ojekere, shouldn't empowerment start at the local government level?
The empowerment has started at the local government level.
And you say he doesn't have the information. If he doesn't have the information, then it speaks to the communication gap between the government at the state level and the local government.
The government is there running as a government, and your needs cannot be anticipated by the government. So what you need to do is to find out what information is available for you. The government cannot know the woman who is pregnant and is putting to bed at the local government area. What the government will know is that he needs to provide health facilities, for instance. You have local government areas and you have party chieftains in the area. You have organs and structure in the local government that should link with the government and say, this is our particular need. If you want us to build a cassava mill for you, this is your particular. You have a House of Assembly representative in the area who is in the House of Assembly. You have a House of Rep.
We could follow up on that logic, Mr. Ojekere. For instance, the pregnant woman that you talk about should have a primary healthcare development center accessible to her in her local government. But let's allow Mr. Lugard to respond.
First of all, I want to correct Mr. Ojekere that people may not be living in Uhunde, they live in the urban area, which is Benin City and so on and so forth. People live in every nook and cranny of the local government, or else you could have declared just a desert or people where people do not live. For me, I'm so crossed with what he just said.
I didn't say
that my
that.
people.
You didn't get it.
No, listen to me.
May not necessarily
allow him to
listen. I didn't
you have the right of
you.
reply. Go ahead, please.
He's, kind of projecting that the local government is not habited by people. It's habited by Nigerians as equal as yourself, who has a life to live, who just needed an opportunity to thrive, an opportunity to express their God-given talents if they are provided the basic necessities to thrive in terms of good roads, education, and also communication. There are areas in my local government I know that the government may not have to provide the networks, but there are no networks, no telephone, nothing works in that area. It's not the responsibility. You quite all right mentioned the private sectors. The private sector need basic infrastructure to work or to establish, like, for instance, power. Let me tell you, the Edo Production Center is a lovely project. Do you understand? Of course, I love it. I participated in it, and I benefited from Edo Production Center in Benin City. I'm not saying the government have been empty. No. But I'm saying that this is the situation of my people.
So the distance between Benin City and Ohude is significant
started from
for
part
you.
of the Benin City. But what I'm saying is the condition of life of my people.
Okay.
And this also spread around other local governments.
Which is
even
why,
his own
just a second, which is why you want to contest as
absolutely,
a champion.
to make a difference.
Now, how do you see the process to the elections, the local government elections? Do you see a level playing field?
If I need to conclude on the status quo, the way he mentioned, let me conclude where he said that there have been local government leaders or liaison or chairmanship that invariably has not impacted my people. That's why persons like us coming out that say we can do it. I'm from the private sector. I know how to create a job. I'm a fabricator. I'm not learning at that. I'm doing that. It's what I'm doing. And this I know is possible because we are able. If we harness what we have, we are able to provide the jobs that we need. In fact, we will be requiring others to join us if we we harness our endowment.
But more importantly, do you think the State Electoral Commission is providing a level playing field for all players in the election?
For now, I cannot judge that because the election in my state that is to come had not happened. But I believe that they are catering for failures on the aspect of human that's negligence and failures on nepotism, that they have something to substitute or back up, like the beavers should be there, because we know the aspect of human possibilities, that there could be failure, there could be the bad eggs among the good ones. So we have to provide to protect that aspect, though, so that we get a result from the election that will be free and fair.
When you say nepotism, what do you mean?
In the aspect of people not doing what they are supposed to do.
Such as
having to fail in their duties to do the right things and making sure that the election goes according to the rules. So those are things I think.
Mr. Jekiri.
Yes.
Is there a level playing field for all contestants in the coming local government elections?
All right. If you won't cut me short again while I'm talking. I know.
We have to manage time.
Yes.
So.
No, I don't want to accuse you of being partisan, but I do know that Channels TV do have some sentiments towards Labour Party, but it would just be fair for you to give me my opportunity.
Well, you have to provide.
Yes, that's what
you have.
It's all right. Let that never be seen by the viewing public that you are absolutely non-partisan. Yeah. So now let me tell you. The HCEC is headed by a retired chief judge of no mean reputation, Justice Oyomire, who has staked his integrity and has assured over and over again. I shouldn't be speaking for him. We become a political party, and that's HCEC, the Edo State INEC. Now, I'm happy he admits that. I like his sincerity. He spoke about the Edo Production Hub, and there's a whole lot of support system like that by the government for local governments and everybody who cares to develop. Now, there's going to be a level playing ground. He has assured us. He promised us, and we believe him. Now, the election is for September 2nd. So far, from the processes, from obtaining forms, campaigning, and submitting names of agents up until now, nobody has had any complaint. So we are hoping also, and we believe, that September 2nd will be the same thing, and there's going to be a level playing ground, and the winners will emerge, as they did in the House of Assembly election that we just concluded.
Now, is it true there are allegations that fears that the results may have been written? Do you have any information about that?
No, I don't. You see, the fears is synonymous with Nigerian elections. I mean, who wouldn't have fears after what we just had, the charade we just had in 23 February, and some of it spilled over to March and April? Who wouldn't have fears? So those fears are understood. People have fears because we have those in government who use their power to bludgeon everybody into line and to cajole everybody into line. But the governor of Edo State is not like that. He allows level playing field. We believe institutional reform is the first plank, by the way, of that sixth plan. So he's not going to allow anything that will taint that. In Edo State, we enjoy elections.
Okay.
We actually do not have those volatile elections that you have in places like Rivers or the others. So in Edo State, we enjoy elections. Everybody goes out there. That's why Labour State could win in Edo State in the presidential elections.
But Mr. Jekere, I was hoping you would speak to the issues that he raised.
Yes.
Administrative issues, equipment, and manpower.
Yes, for the elections?
For the elections. You talked about nepotism.
Yes, I mean,
talks about
it's EDSEC that should be speaking about that. But we are told that they have trained ATCO staff and they have sent them to the various stations. We are told that they have employed electoral officers and they have been trained. Now, that's what you need. That's the manpower. If they have done all of that, we expect the election to go according to training, which means that they've been trained to be free and fair, they've been trained to make electoral materials to be available at the proper time, and they've been trained to ensure that there is orderliness while they are voting and all that. We expect that should happen.
We hope to have Justice Oyemere on this program this morning. We're still expecting him, even though the rest of the time for the program is really limited. We're hoping if we're unable to host him today, in no distant future he will. But are you on the same page with him on the processes towards the elections?
The processes, we always have a written process and procedures. It's the implementation that's our problem. Who will outrightly implement it according to the books and the letters? That's where the issue is.
You don't have confidence in the State Electoral Commission?
I'm not judging that I don't have confidence. Or I pray them to do the right thing. Because we have a nation to protect. We have a people to do good to. That we are not wanting any part or facet of the administration or systems to corrupt the system itself. The problem we have is a system problems. We need to change a lot of things. From ISEC, if you want good leadership, we should let election be free and fair. Then you can judge from there. But if we have election that is not free and fair, the purpose of the leadership is already corrupted, because we do not have the right leader that was rightly elected by the people. And the people, democracy is what we practice, right? That the people should be served. But when it is the decision of some few to put in who they choose that suits them, their own purpose and their pockets, then
who are the few?
The few are those that are having the power to adjust things the way they want it. But those people are the people that are in authority that could make things not work if they so wish, but it's not supposed to be. What I'm saying, I'm not the judge of anybody. I'm only wishing a better Nigeria that we hope for, a life we can live for our children to come, a nation that we are proud locally and internationally, that we are competing among other nations of the world. And it is the people that matter. If the decision of the people is not respected from the grassroots, then we'll have nowhere to go.
So you're saying that you have your doubts?
It's time, because we've just gone through another election that we are still having our principal, Peter Obi, is still in court. So we are hoping that this does not warrant going to court. Let the people judge and let their judgment stay through their PVC. That's what we want for Nigeria, that we want.
Well, let's switch gears now, Mr. Lugard. It seems like the Labour Party wants to make quite some showing in these elections in Edo State, not just the chairmanship election now, but also the governorship election. What are you riding on? Is it on the presidential election, the results of the presidential election in February? If that is the case, but the dynamics were quite different, you know, for the State Assembly and the National Assembly elections.
What I'll sure tell you right now, it is the life of the Nigerian, the condition of living of Nigerian, that the Labour Party is concerned. We've not achieved that. Nigerians can still, they don't have full security, right? We are having massive unemployment in the society. We are having youth being out of the university and polytechnics, they don't have job. We don't have a system that is creating jobs. Okay. Keeping for our educational system, we have a system of dependence. We want to change that in Labour Party.
Okay. Mr. Jekere, yes. In conclusion, I mean, you said the other time that Channels, yes, because we have to close now, you said Channels Television is supporting. Do you still have that opinion that Channels Television is being partisan?
Well,
it's a yes or no question, first of all.
Okay, let's say no. At least in the last question, I was allowed to reach the...
Okay, all right. Now, the fears that he has, yes, probably that of other political parties. Yes. Now, in the event of this uncertainty, yes, what assurances would you be giving? Because you know that the history we've had is most of the time the state governments appoint chairman of local government, yeah, and they don't allow the elections to hold, so yes, to hold and stay for long. So will the people's vote count? Yes. Under the PDP government in Edo State? It will count
under the PDP government. I mean, you look at precedences. Obaseki has not in any way shown that he's the kind of godfather or maximum ruler as you find in that. See, the fear that he's expressed is the fear of the Nigerian factor, not Edo State. What has happened in Nigeria, we all understand those who believe that by bravado and by the use of force, you appoint people or you push them down the throat. Obaseki came in as a Democrat. Edo State people saw his revolutionary bent against this kind of godfatherism, and he wants to maintain that. So you're in appointment so far, yes, in appointment so far, yes, in his dealing with Edo people so far, no tribe, no ethnic group has complained that Obaseki is partisan. In fact, if anything, Obaseki is one of the problems he has now is because he has refused to be partisan.
We really have to go now, Mr. Ojekere. Chris Ojekere is a member of the People's Democratic Party, as well as Lugard Hosiehi, who is chairmanship candidate under the Labour Party for Omode local government area. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Well, your own contributions to this program this morning. Let's start with yours, Razak Ishola Kolawole, and he says, it is high time the government looked into the systems and bureaucracy we are using to implement government policies, such that the implementation of policy that will benefit the masses don't go haywire.
And Oshinawa Kingsley is also talking about, similar issue. He says it's hypocritical to tell us subsidy is gone in one hand and come back with few months that price won't go up again. That clearly means the price is still being fixed by someone and not the market. Someone is playing hide and seek here, and we'll soon find out.
Well, somebody certainly gets it. Chukwuemeka Edwin is talking about subsidy. He says, government subsidy exists globally. My worry is, why is this government shying away from fighting and prosecuting the criminality in fuel subsidy? This value chain of criminality needs to be exposed. Arresting a ship, stealing our crude, and setting it ablaze is covering criminality.
Well, Honorable Ademola Alalade says there is fire on the mountain in Nigeria, as the policies around fuel subsidy removal has continued to make life difficult for citizens. Government at this time should take a step back, re-strategize, consult, and plan a better future for Nigeria. So there you go, that ends the show today. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain, so goodbye.
Well, for coppers going to camp today, I hope that you'll be reimbursed for your transport, at least. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maupe Ogun Yusuf. Goodbye.
Indeed, we'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. I am Bukola Koka.
I'm Ayo Makinde. Good morning and have a productive day.